Hello there.
Hey guys, it's RivaThames. Today we're discussing the potential abilities for the final Clone Wars hero, General Grievous. Honestly, the one I'm most looking forward to because I have no idea what to expect. He's such a unique character that I can only hope will be something massive for the game. Like I said in my previous episodes, none of these are confirmed, just simply my ideas I've come up with. So starting off with the first ability, so we all know he has a bad cough. This must mean he has pretty low health in the game. So what if General Grievous could pull out an inhaler and his health regeneration starts instantly? Now I think this would be a great... I thought I'd just throw in a quick joke to start off these videos because they can get quite serious, but now for the proper ideas of what I think Grievous could have. So I think the majority, if not all of us, want to see Grievous have some kind of ability where he uses all of his 4 lightsabers. So this is my take on how it could work as an ability. I like to call this Jedi Arts, because when Grievous activates his 4 lightsabers, he says his famous line, "I've been trained in your Jedi Arts" by Count Dooku. Plus the lightsabers were originally from a Jedi. So this is my idea. You know how Chewbacca's Furious Bowcaster ability works? Your bowcaster goes into a fully automatic state for a period of time, and you can completely destroy with this ability, having full control and ultimately more damage output because you can fire it faster. And I think this would be the perfect way to implement the 4 lightsabers. As you activate this ability, opening out your arms to 4 arms, thus giving you 4 lightsabers. But it's only active for a limited time. This would essentially double the damage output of Grievous, as he will have, 2 extra lightsabers. While this is active, I can imagine it being really strong at close range, so some balancing I can think of is to have blocking disabled while you use this. I personally think Grievous is going to have a blocking ability on right mouse or left trigger, so I think Grievous's block should be disabled while you use this, to kind of like emphasize the fact that you are dealing damage instead of being defensive. So this ability is only focused on dealing damage, so activating this you will become committed to a fight. I got this idea from both Chewbacca and the X-Wing. You know how the X-Wing has 2 standard lasers that and then he has an ability to make it 4 for a period of time, and I think this would be exactly my thought process. I think it would be a cool way to implement a Grievous with a timer, because I reckon constantly running around with 4 lightsabers would look silly. So how about some star cards? Well, these are some that I've come up with and I think could work pretty well. Firstly, there could be a boost card that applies damage resistance when using 4 lightsabers. The thing with Chewbacca is that he can hit people at range and at close range, but Grievous will have to engage only at close range and use the lightsabers only to hit enemies really close to him. So I think it would be a great upgrade to have some kind of armor or resistance present when using this ability. And since it's a star card, it's completely optional. But it's one I could definitely see a lot of players using, as I have more confidence in attacking at close range with those lightsabers. Next, another boost card could increase the damage of the 4 lightsaber ability, but reduce the time it's active for. And this is how I believe star cards should work in general. There should be some kind of trade-off to not make it overpowered. Having increased damage for less time could be very useful in heroes versus villains, for example, to completely obliterate the target very quickly when this card is equipped. So it's not too strong, you can only focus on one, and once that's gone you won't be able to use that ability probably for another 20 or however many seconds, because I reckon this cooldown in my opinion would be pretty long. And finally, just a faster cooldown boost card. This one I think is a general card for many heroes to have faster recharges, but I like to give one to General Grievous for the player's choice. It could be a great pair with this card with the increased damage card. Being able to use it a lot faster while dealing more damage frequently could make Grievous very intimidating very fast. Just imagine, your timer has been cut down to give you more damage on one card, then you have a faster cooldown card to then boost back up how many times you can use that extra damage. Just think about how strong that would be. So my next ability idea is, how about if Grievous had the power to call in Magna Guards? Now, Magna Guards were Grievous's bodyguards, essentially. You can see them in Revenge of the Sith, and you can see them in the Clone Wars series. They basically, tall guys, if they get their head chopped off, you know, they're still active. These guys were very, very cool. They had a lightning staff, and they protected Grievous when he was in trouble. So this is how I think this could work. In Galactic Assault or the future Conquest type game modes, I think Grievous should be able to call in Magna Guards, and these should be kind of implemented with the new squad system. As we know, the squad system will be a max of 4 players. So what if someone on your squad is playing as Grievous? When he activates this Magna Guard ability, it will then prompt those in your squads to either opt in or opt out to play as a Magna Guard. And I think this would be pretty cool, because back in 2015's Battlefront by DICE, Palpatine, Leia and Krennic could spawn in bodyguards. And it was such a good team play idea, because the closer you were to your hero, the faster your abilities would recharge. And this encouraged them to stay with their hero and actually act like a bodyguard. I think this would be a great way to experience team play, promote team play, and get Magna Guards into the game. And when you choose to spawn as a Magna Guards, I was kind of thinking about some abilities they could have. So we know they have a staff, and the Royal Guards were Palpatine's bodyguards back in 2015. And was kind of skeptical because of how they were going to work, because Royal Guards were only seen with a spear, but they were actually given a heavy blaster. So maybe the Magna Guards could have the choice between a blaster or using their staff. It would be pretty hard in these open game modes like Galactic Assault and the future Conquest game modes to melee people at long range, so maybe they could have some kind of health buff, maybe a homing missile ability, perhaps even use a blaster over the staff. But I think regardless, I would love to see a Magna Guard somehow implemented into this Clone Wars season. They are by far one of my favourite droids, and to come with General Grievous would just be massive for the gameplay, for the game in general, and for publicity. I think people would go crazy if these droids were to come into the game. So how about some star cards for these Magna Guards? Well, one could be each kill from the Magna Guard will impact how fast General Grievous's abilities recharge. So it is kind of a beneficial ability. It's not just like you spawn in Magna Guards and they go off on their own, because if they even do that, they can go off to the other side of the map, but if they get a kill, then it will impact you. And I think that is a great way to implement some kind of team play into this ability. It could also be spawn in 1 extra Magna Guards. Like I said, if you're playing as Grievous and you have 3 other squad mates in this new squad system, then why not give a Magna Guard option to all 3 of those squad mates? This is just an idea that I think would really implement a great squad system mechanic. Because you'll have the original squad system, but then you'll have a personalized squad system for General Grievous himself. And I think that would be really game changing and really fun in those open game modes. And finally, why not just spawn Magna Guards with extra health? Maybe 1 to 200 extra health to make the ability more useful and help your squad mates feel more powerful in those droids. So let me know what you guys think of that. Do you want to see Magna Guards in the game? If you do, then let me know down in the comment section below. And let me know if you think my idea for the squad system mechanic to implement with Grievous would work well. So my final ability is going to be called Saber Shields. And this is where Grievous will essentially go into an animation from Revenge of the Sith and start spinning his lightsabers all fancy. And I believe he should be able to deflect every single incoming thing at a specific target. You know, you can choose if you want to lock onto someone, and when you lock onto someone, everything will be accurately deflected onto that person. While this ability is active, I'd like to see sprinting disabled, because it's a defensively focused move. You can't be sprinting around with your lightsabers flinging around all over the place. It would look ridiculous. So I think it would be a good trade-off to have accurate deflection but no sprint. And of course, I believe there should be unlimited stamina, because while this ability is on, you don't want to run out of stamina. Just to accurately deflect everything for however long would be a great ability to have in my opinion. And a feature I think this ability would work well with is that every hero right now that can block can only block from the front of them. Since Grievous is spinning his lightsabers behind, to the sides, and then to the back, what if he could block in a 360 radius? So when this is active, he can block every single blaster bolt from everyone around him, but deflect all of it onto one person in front of him. So essentially he can take out someone just like that. I don't know if you heard that, that might have been cringy, but doesn't matter, it's staying in. But just imagine being able to deflect everything in the 360 radius at one player. That would be a pretty cool ability in my opinion. Some star cards could include revealing enemies when using this, so you'll have a better understanding of who you can lock onto. I think would work really well. Again, reduce the cooldown of this ability to be more defensive more often, and again a damage reduction. Since you can't sprint in this ability, I think damage reduction would be a great idea since you'll feel more confident. That's it for my general Grievous abilities. Let me know if you think these were any good. I personally think I did a good job on these abilities. Grievous is by far one of the most hopeful heroes for me. I really don't know what to expect and I can't wait to see him on the Battlefront. Leave your ideas for what you think General Grievous could have, because like I said, I have no idea what to expect and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's ideas. So thanks for watching, it's been Riva and I'll see you in the next video.